Great to have your company on Summer Grandstand. Matt Clinch with you as we count down to Christmas Day and, of course, the Boxing Day test. And we know cricket plays such a pivotal part on Christmas Day for a lot of families, whether it's in the backyard or down at the park. Chance to get friends and family involved. What about in Iceland? I don't know if you've seen the Iceland Cricket social media page, but they have some great fun with the volcanoes not too far behind them. Bala Kamallakharan is the president of the Iceland Cricket Association. He joins you on ABC Sport. Bala, welcome. Tell us, why has cricket become so popular in Iceland?
Hey, Matt, thanks for having me. We think that cricket was founded in Iceland in the year 1911, and we have the sagas to prove that. And we just gave it a new life in the 21st century. We've been having a lot of people who used to play cricket move into Iceland in the last decade or so, and that has given a new life, new industries, and pretty much everything else that brings cricket to parts of the world that didn't know cricket.
Now, in Australia on Christmas Day, obviously, we have a lot of backyard competitions. There's certain rules that go in various families. What are the challenges in Iceland in terms of light? Do you have to play indoors? How do you try and make the most of it?
Right. I mean, in the winter, we obviously play indoors. So right now, the weather in Iceland is not very conducive for cricket. It's about -9 degrees Celsius. And tomorrow is a yellow weather warning. That means we'll be having some heavy winds and snow and so on and so forth. So we play indoors. During the Christmas holidays, Iceland is pretty traditional. I think everybody gets back to family. So we're not playing that much cricket, but we've been training indoors for almost all of winter now. And we actually have our Ashes on Ice tournament starting in the first quarter of next year, where we will be playing an indoor tournament with the 5 clubs that we have in Iceland now.
So tell us a bit more about that, the Ashes on Ice. And how many players do you have playing cricket in Iceland? How many teams do you have?
So we have 5 clubs and about 140 registered players. And we have a very ambitious goal for 2024. We plan to cross the 200 number by recruiting 60 women, because for us, the biggest challenge is to build a women's cricket team. So we're starting to work on that challenge. And the tournaments are conducted in a T20 format indoors. And as I said, we have 5 clubs now. And 6th one probably will be forming next year. And hopefully by the summer, we'll have women team to start, preparing for their tournaments.
So in terms of the locals in Iceland, how much of an idea do they have about cricket, and how many of the participants are expats who have either seen it in Australia or the UK or India and are desperate to still keep playing?
Yeah, so we actually have 17 countries represented in the 140 plus players in Iceland. And we do have a few Icelanders. By the way, the original founding members were all local Icelanders. There were very few expats at that time. But now the world is, more or less without any borders. So there are a lot more expats living and calling Iceland home, including myself. I moved to Iceland 17 years back, and I started watching some of the folks playing cricket, and I started joining them. And I grew up playing cricket back in India, and it became a passion. And now we're starting to see more people join the fray. And with regard to locals, as I said, for us, the women cricket is going to be the big attraction, because I think we will be able to attract women in Iceland to play cricket, because they're very competitive, and it's going to be fun to see how it evolves.
The Twitter handle is Iceland Cricket if you want to have a look and learn a little bit more, and you have a bit of fun on social media, especially with the volcanoes. How close are they to, I guess, where you might play some of your games?
Well, actually, the current eruption is very close to a town called Grindavik, which is about 50 kilometers from Reykjavik. Most of our tournaments and our training facilities are all closer to Reykjavik, within about 5 to 10 square kilometers. So we're pretty far away from the eruption site, but we can see the eruption from the grounds that we play in. So which is pretty amazing sight. to watch. And I mean, Iceland is a land of fire and ice, and we're very lucky because we actually have located ourselves in places where it's not as dangerous. But even this volcano was something that we had known was going to happen. All the people in the town were evacuated long time back. Obviously, there is some property damage, but as I said, there's no fatalities, and the rescue and the people who ensure that it's safe are working around the clock to keep it that way.
Yeah, that's certainly good news. So what are the team colours of Iceland, and where is your home ground?
So I mean, we have five city or towns in Iceland which are represented. It is the Kópavogur Puffins, Gardabayr Glaciers, Reykjavik Vikings, Hafnarfjörður Hammers, and Vesturbæjar Volcano. Actually, incidentally, the fourth club, Vesturbæjar Volcano, was actually formed when the previous volcano eruption happened. So they actually, named it pretty appropriately at that time. And each of these clubs are represented with the local sports authorities, and we're working to become a ICC affiliate member. So we're working towards that membership as well. Yeah, they're pretty. There's a lot of local formalities that we're going through, but end goal is to become an affiliate member.
Absolutely, and hopefully one day maybe a player in the IPL or something like that where the big money is on offer. So what does Christmas Day look like in Iceland for you?
So the traditional Christmas Day is usually people, drive around town and distribute gifts to, extended family members and friends. And then in the evening at around 6 o'clock, everybody sits down and has a dinner. It could be anything from, grouse, the bird, to lamb or pork, or in my case, I'm vegetarian, so we have to figure out a way to make my food happen. But yeah, so usually it's dinner, and then after dinner, the gifts are opened, and usually families play games or go and watch a bonfire and celebrate with family and friends.
So is there any cricket that takes place on Christmas Day, or does it happen in the days after?
It usually is the days after. Usually Christmas days are pretty packed in Iceland, yeah. So there's not a lot of cricket.
Bala, as always, appreciate your time. Have a safe and happy Christmas, and we love everything you're doing on the Iceland Cricket page, especially the social media. Continue to have the fun.
Thank you, Matt, and Merry Christmas to you and everyone in Australia from Iceland.